Greetings, fellow moviegoers, and welcome to Movie Central, the place to talk about movies, TV shows based on movies, toys based on movies, games based on movies, and rides based on movies. I'm your host, Mr. CCS, and these are my pets, George the Gorilla, Kahal the Dolphin, and Frank the Sea Turtle. I mean, wouldn't it be crazy if my animals decided to grow to kaiju size and start attacking different cities in the United States? I mean, it makes all the more sense. I have a gorilla named George. But not a gorilla named George that will go full King Kong and attack Los Angeles. I mean, that's stupid. That could never happen to me. However, it did happen in a sensational arcade title back in the 1980s, and that game was called Rampage.
It's quite weird to discuss this game without discussing what inspired it. Giant monster movies. More specifically, King Kong and 20 Million Miles to Earth. Those films had a huge impact on pop culture, and especially Brian Collin. Hey, great name, dude. The game's lead designer. They revolved around three central characters. George, a scientist that mutates into a giant gorilla. Lizzie, a woman who mutates into an amphibious creature. And Ralph, a man who ate a hot dog and turned into a giant wolf. Yeah, it's as crazy as it sounds. The game was a success in both arcades and on consoles, which led to a series of sequels. In 2009, Warner Bros. Acquired the film rights to original arcade game, with an official announcement in 2011, and filming in 2017. The film itself was released in April of 2018 to mixed reviews, yet it grossed nearly $500 million at the box office. So after nearly a decade, how is this creature feature?
Well, let's get to it. This is the 2018 live-action video game film, Rampage.
Primatologist Davis Okoye, played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, shares an unshakable bond with George, an extraordinarily intelligent silverback gorilla that's been in his care since birth. When a rogue genetic experiment goes wrong, it causes George, a wolf and a reptile, to grow to a monstrous size. As the mutated beasts embark on a path of destruction, Okoye teams up with a discredited genetic engineer, played by Naomi Harris, and the military to secure an antidote and prevent global catastrophe.
Okay, considering the fact that the original Rampage arcade title was supposed to be a tribute to giant monster movies like King Kong and Godzilla, I'd argue that the film is a perfect tribute to the tributes. I mean, think about it. It's a very fun and action-packed experience filled with a ton of destruction, which is what made the game so iconic in the first place, and it also has that lovable monster movie charm. So yeah, I really like this movie. It's a genuinely fun movie that I'd want to put on as a guilty pleasure every now and again. I honestly hope that I watch it more in the future, since I surprisingly enjoy it a lot more than I think I should. But let's find out why. Alright, so Dwayne Johnson in another action role. If you've seen one of his movies, you've basically seen them all. However, it is still interesting to see the character of Davis Okoye bond with animals more than he does humans, specifically gorillas. If you should know one thing about me, then know this. The reason I have George as a pet on this show is because I just love these great apes. They're incredibly fascinating creatures. So yeah, I connected with Okoye in this film a bit, and I thought he served the movie well, and is one of my favorite characters The Rock has ever played. As for the other characters, I always forget a lot about Kate, but that's only because they don't really give her much to do apart from being the exposition dumper whenever the plot demands her to be, and the 9,000th love interest. Whatever, she serves her purpose. Jeffrey Dean Morgan's Russell made me laugh, but that's probably just because it's Jeffrey Dean Morgan. The Wyden siblings aren't that interesting of villains and are just guys in suits. Whatever. I just don't like this trend that much. The real stars of the show, of course, are the animals: George, Ralph, and Lizzie. George was modeled primarily after Snowflake, the currently only known albino gorilla who resided in the Barcelona Zoo. Snowflake was characterized by his white fur, as well as his poor vision, and the fact that he was able to live as long as he did, nearly 40 years. Which is freaking incredible. I'd say in this film, George only resembles Snowflake more than acts like him, and he's as intelligent as Coco, the gorilla that was able to communicate through sign language.
All of that in mind, he also has a twisted sense of humor and a softer side to him. He is, of course, my favorite character of the bunch because of how unique he is. As for the other two, Ralph has the least amount of screen time and the least amount to do, but hey, he can fly, so I guess that makes up for something. Lizzie is just a freaking menace. I mean, she has one epic design with this almost prehistoric look to her. God damn, it's great. On a side note, I like that the animals are mutant animals as opposed to humans that turn into animals. It feels a little more frightening considering the fact that animal instincts, when provoked, are a freaking nightmare. Especially when you know what a dominant silverback gorilla, gray wolf, and crocodile act like at full capacity. So yeah, the characters are serviceable, minus Okoye, sometimes Russell, and the animals. That's all. What this movie lacks in characters, it makes up for in the visuals. Holy crap, this movie looks really freaking good. This was provided by Peter Jackson's Weta Digital, who also made the King Kong remake back in 2005. While it doesn't look as good as that movie does, it certainly looks pretty damn great, mainly the animals. As for the score, it was composed by Andrew Lockington, who gave us that very bombastic blockbuster feel to the film, and it's super charming. I love when movies go above and beyond with music, and this is no different. It's not the best score of all time, certainly, but it is a good score for the movie we're watching. As for the action, this is probably the biggest highlight of the film, whether it be that horror-like opening with the exploding space station and the mutant rat, an homage to Larry from the games, or the scene where Ralph attacks the military, the plane scene with George, and the climax in the city of Chicago. Truth be told, there could have been a little more action, as we could have seen the Beast attack other US cities as well, but beggars can't be choosers. The action we do have is pretty amazing and serves as some of the best parts of the film. So yeah, I really like this movie. It's one of the better video game movies I've seen, and I fully recommend it to anyone who's curious, or to anyone who wants a bombastic action movie like this one. I'm gonna give this one an 8 out of 10.
Well, that's all I have to say. Hopefully there's no mutagenic drug nearby to mutate any of my animals. They wouldn't destroy the world anyway, since I've taught them better. Anyways, next week, I assure you that it won't be about harming animals. At least I hope. Until then, and with that said, my name is Mr. CCS. These are my pets. This is Movie Central, and that, my friends, is a wrap. See you next week.